Welcome to Kyle Talks at Random. A few weeks ago, I heard someone suggesting that censorship against Christians had recently been lifted. I don't know when or by whom this censorship was supposedly happening. I do remember seeing lots of claims of censorship against Christians during the Obama administration. When I looked into these claims at the time, I found that the censorship was related to threatening behavior, not Christian teachings. Researching these claims reminds me of what I see as a division in Christianity: New Testament Christians and Old Testament Christians. New Testament Christians, of course, quote or paraphrase from New Testament scriptures, such as Matthew 25:40. And the king shall answer and saying to them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Or Luke chapter 6, verse 27. But I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you. Or John 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Or Matthew chapter 5, verses 14 through 16. You are light of the world. A city is set on a hill, cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Or Matthew 7:12. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I have yet to see any example of these sort of statements being censored. Guess you do have the recent example of House Resolution 59, which condemns Right Reverend Mary Ann Edgar Bood for saying that we should have mercy upon people in our country who are scared now. She's not going to go to jail for saying that. It's just some members of Congress saying she shouldn't have said that. At least not at a prayer meeting that the president was attending. So to us New Testament Christians, showing compassion and understanding to minorities, such as homosexuals and transsexuals, is the right thing to do. Old Testament Christians are very big on making sure homosexual and transsexuals feel unwanted. They hold protests with insulting and demeaning signs. They are celebrating transsexuals being discharged from the military. To Old Testament Christians, this is what being Christian is all about: shaming people whose sexual behaviors are different. And yes, these sentiments are being censored in many places. You can't say these hateful things at my job. You can't fire someone for being transsexual. You can't deny them promotions. The New Testament Christians are winning in the workplace and across most of the public sphere. When I started a new job a few years ago, we had a training from HR. They specifically asked what could be said when it comes to religion. One person spoke up and said it should never be mentioned at work. The HR trainer asked if anyone else had a different opinion. I spoke up and said, if someone asked me about what I did over the weekend, I'm going to say, I went to church, or I went to this church activity. And I've even borne my testimony at work. I've never gotten in trouble for this behavior. Liberals have a saying: when you are accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. Christians in the U.S. are very accustomed to privilege. The U.S. government recognizes 11 holidays. One of them is Christmas. Yes, that is what it's still called in federal calendars. There is no holiday celebrating the birth of Moses, Muhammad, or Buddha. A lot of Christians are upset that some organizations have moved to saying Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. This isn't an act of oppression, but a movement toward equality. Many Old Testament Christians want to post the 10 Commandments in public spaces, such as schools and parks. The Satanic Temple has 7 fundamental tenets. According to the U.S. Constitution, the Satanic Temple has the exact same rights as any Christian organization. So if Old Testament Christians can put up the 10 Commandments in our schools, the Satanic Temple can put their 7 tenets in our public schools. So most governments just ban posting any religious text on public grounds. Many Christians see this as censorship against Christians, even though it applies to all religions. This is another example of when you're accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. Thank you for listening to Kyle Talks at Random.